Hey everybody, it is Thursday. That means it's convention day. We're so excited. Say hi,
We
Christina.
are so excited. We are so excited. It is bright and early, and we are here to deliver the Act Right video.
Some
Many
act
of you
right.
love it. Yep, many of y'all love it. Many
Serving
of
it
you love
hot.
it.
First thing this morning.
Show is. So we bringing it to you. What to do, what not to do in order to get the most out of this trip and ensure that people around you are given the freedom to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So sit
All
back, take notes. If you think we're talking to you, we probably are.
right. All right. A couple of housekeeping things. We'll start with that. So first of all, PSA: do not Uber or Lyft alone. Okay. I feel like this one's common sense, but apparently people like Christina disagree. And so sometimes I have to tell Christina how to act right. Don't Uber alone. That is just a friendly reminder from your neighborhood type six. Okay.
Yes, yes. Many times Brittany has reminded me to not Uber alone, and every time she thinks she saved my life.
Yeah,
So
I do. I don't know how Christina is even walking around. All right. Also,
yep.
bring your workbook. Do not forget to print your workbook and bring it. You're going to want to take notes in that. Okay. So,
Yes,
act
and
right number
hang
one.
on.
Oh,
Hold on. If you don't have a printer, go to Staples or Office Depot or Office Max or Kinko's or whatever your neighborhood office supply store is. People are getting them printed and spiral bound for less than $10. Okay, print the workbook. Don't be caught without being prepared. You're coming for a reason, and there's a reason that corporate took the time to put together the workbook.
yeah. And if worse comes to worse, you can always just bring a notebook to take notes in. Okay. All right. Act right number one. This one is top of the list. Keep a positive attitude. You are going to get exactly what you're looking to get out of this event. What you focus on expands. And so if you are looking for value and you are looking for a great experience and you are looking for all of the wonderful things that you're going to get out of this event, relationships, community, training, growth, all of these things, that's exactly what you are going to get. If you're looking for the negative, you'll also get that. So keep a positive attitude, no complaining, no negativity. These things are not adding value to people around you. Nobody likes to be around a complainer. People like to be around others who lift them up. So be that person who keeps a positive attitude. Even not saying you can't acknowledge any problems, but guys, you do need to be grateful because it's a privilege to be here. We as your upline, your diamonds, your jewels. We didn't have to put on this event. This is like the Charleston event. We could have just stayed home and watched it virtually, like a lot of other people in the company are doing. So it's definitely a privilege to be able to get together, and a lot of work and hours and forethought and planning have gone into making this event a good event for all of us. So thank you, Fallon. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, everybody else who has put so much time in this. Thank you, Christina. I mean, things like name tags, that takes a lot of time, guys. And our time is extremely valuable. So just show gratitude. We're not expecting anything in return, nothing like that. But we do expect just simple gratitude and positive attitude.
Yep. So listen, if you have to start with, I don't mean this to be negative, but, or I'm not complaining, but don't say it. I don't mean to be negative, but it would have been nice if they printed the workbooks for us. Negative. Okay. I'm going to tell you, I read a line from my kid's youth pastor when they were going to youth camp, and he said, if you come looking to feel included, you will find yourself included. If you come looking to feel excluded, you will find yourself excluded. He said, teenagers who find themselves excluded are the ones who exclude themselves. So I thought that was wise. Find a place, find some people, start a conversation, come with a couple questions in mind that you can ask anybody. And I think we're going to get to that in a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so keep a positive attitude. And that mean, and just like Christina said, you got to put a disclaimer on the front of it of I'm not trying to complain, but or I don't want to be negative, but then check yourself. Think real hard of if what you're about to say actually adds value or if it takes away value, and we will elaborate on that. But that would include an example would be like, I wish I had heard more training about XYZ topic than this topic, or wish I'd heard more from that person than this person, or whatever. Okay, so any kind of sort of thing. All right, act right number 2, be early. We are at a business event, and so if you are on time, you are late. So guys, this is just common courtesy to other people being on time, because when you are late, it's a distraction to people around you who did work hard to be on time. And what you're communicating, even if you didn't say it with words, when you show up late, is what I have going on is more important than what you have going on. So be early.
Yeah. Listen, if you're with me and you're late, you get left. I'm not kidding. You ain't about to make me look like I don't value other people's time. Be early. It's just, there's just not an excuse. Sometimes there's an emergency. We get it. Don't be the person who's consistently late. Just be on time. Plan to be super early so that even if you hit a snag or whatever, you have time to spare.
Yeah, plan accordingly, okay, and plan ahead. All right, and that's just, again, common courtesy to people around you. Act right number 3, no talking during training. Guys, this is what you are sacrificing your time, money, and resources to be here for. It's the training, right? And so, no talking during training. It's just that simple. Even if you're whispering, it's a distraction to other people around you. And even if nobody turns around and says, hey, I can't hear, or hey, would you mind keeping quiet so I can hear? They're seething inside and they probably feel resentful because they can't hear. And even though you might not want to get what you came for, people around you do. So just be courteous to people around you and just don't talk during training.
I have never been so nice to say, would you please mind not talking? That was real nice. I'm like, listen, I will give you the death stare. Act right. Act right.
All right. So nobody wants a single thing.
And listen, if as a trainer who has to be up there in front of you, if your friend whispers something to you and it's so hysterically funny that all of you are laughing, yes, she could have messaged to you something, whatever. You know what I think? Oh my gosh, they think I suck. I'm not adding value to them. They're laughing at me, and immediately it will distract some people. Probably not actually me, but other people it would. So don't listen. Just don't do it.
It is distracting. I'm a highly distractible speaker. If they're laughing at you, Christina, it's probably because you're funny.
Or they're like, never mind.
Probably laughing with you. Probably. Not at you. All right. Anyways, nobody wants to miss a thing. So just be courteous. Don't talk during training. Okay. Act right number 4. Get what you came for.
Word.
Don't be on your phone the whole time. Okay.
Word.
If you need to check your phone every once in a while, that's fine. Like, we are going to do that. But, like, first of all, your team, like, there's no emergencies in network marketing. Okay. Now, I will make one small exception. If you're pushing for a huge rank and you need like 1 million joins to hit it, and you got a message from a prospect coming in, you have my permission to sign somebody up because you're going for a rank. Okay. But other than that, get what you came for, guys. Don't be on your phone the whole entire time. This is an experience that you're here for. Don't waste it by being on your phone the whole time. People can wait. Okay.
And the work can wait.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a time to invest in yourself. Like, there's a season for everything, right? There's a season where you're going to hustle and work hard. This is a season to invest in your growth and your learning so that when you go home and start working hard, you'll be more effective. But you're not going to be more effective if you miss it. So, all right, next thing is engage and be engaging. Come prepared with like 2 or 3 go-to questions that you can ask every single person that you meet. So, like, that goes back to what Christina said about not excluding yourself. If you feel excluded, it's because you're not being intentional about being engaging with others. If you don't know people there and you leave still not knowing people there or feeling like you're not a part, it's because you did not intentionally approach someone. Guys, you're gonna have to get out of your comfort zone. And I say that from a place of love. I am an introvert, and so I know that that is hard to do, to approach someone you don't know and just strike up a conversation. But guess what? I've done it. I've done it scared, and you can too. So get what you came for by engaging with others and being engaging intentionally. Okay. You need to learn people's stories. Everybody should have like a mental Rolodex of Plexus stories in their minds so that when you are talking to prospects, it triggers a memory of somebody else's story that they could relate to. And couple that with take all of the pictures. Like, guys, I know that in at most places, like if you were like at church or like at the ball field and you just strike up a conversation with somebody you don't know and then ask to take a picture with them, that would be kind of weird. Okay. In this room, it's not weird. It's actually really cool to do that, because when you go home and you are posting somebody's testimony, you learn their story. You go home, they have their story posted somewhere. You can copy that story and you can post it with a picture of you and that person and say, look at my friend Julie and her amazing story. I met her the other day and this story inspired me so much. It just adds credibility. It's very effective to do that. So this is the new cool thing in this room. Figure out somebody's story. If you need a good go-to question to strike up a conversation with somebody that you don't know, just ask them, hey, tell me about your Plexus story. Like, tell me what you love about the products. Tell me your business journey so far. And then, and they should be able to sum it up in 2 or 3 minutes. And if they can't, this is a skill that they need to learn, because everybody needs to have their story in a elevator speech kind of thing. And then ask to take a picture with them. That would be a really cool thing to do in this room.
Yeah. And just know leaders are initiators. So if you're sitting back waiting for Christina or Brittany to strike up the conversation, just know that if you're in line behind a diamond and you wish that that diamond would turn around and speak, first of all, we are trying. We will. It's in our brain to do so. There's also a million other things. You know what I love? Someone to tap me on the shoulder and be like, you're Christina, right? I've watched your triplex video 1,000 times. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to meet you. And then you know what? I'm focused. Here we are. Let's talk. So just don't assume that people who aren't speaking on purpose. Assume that they probably have a million responsibilities this weekend and that they would really like you to initiate. So just know, Brittany has forced me to do it a million times in this business. She made me walk up to Jill Renfro one time. I think I was a gold. She's like, go, I'll be here, go. I'm like, what do I say? She's like, try, hi, Jill. I'm Christina. So just say anything, just initiate. It doesn't matter who's around. Be the one who's trying to initiate first. I always teach my sons, be the one who tries to shake their hand first. Don't wait for them to shake your hand. You shake their hand first.
Yeah. And that'll be a huge benefit like that. We could stay at home and watch this event virtually, but what makes it worth you spending the time and the money to come to this actual event in Charleston is the community and the people that you're going to meet and the relationships you're going to build. Okay. But just don't expect those things to happen automatically. Be intentional about making those things happen and be intentional about adding value to every person that you meet. And I was watching the last Act Right video that me and Christina did, and Christina said, be that girl that when people walk away from you, they wish they had had more time with you. And I just think that's so smart. So, all right, Act Right number 5, drinking etiquette.
All right.
I'm gonna let you run with that one.
Listen, as someone who likes to partake in an alcoholic beverage or two, if you are not one to normally engage in any type of drinking at home, just know 1 is a good limit for you. 1. And I mean that with the utmost kindness. I have lots of friends who don't typically drink, and so they have 1, and then they're usually good. What you don't want is to feel like junk the next day. And if you're not a typical person who likes to have a drink or two, then going and having 2 or 3 or 4 is going to make you feel like crap the next day. And it's probably going to make your behavior less than becoming at the event. And that is what you don't want. You don't want somebody to have to be like, hey, Brittany, it's probably time for you to cut it off. Go to bed.
Nobody should have to say that to you. I mean, guys, just be courteous to other people. Nobody wants to see you sloppy. Just be courteous.
Yeah, it's not courteous, and it leads to you feeling embarrassed the next day. So we really are looking out for the whole group, everyone around you, including you. So be mindful of that. There's nothing wrong with having a good time. We want you to have a good time. We want you to be responsible with that good time. So just keep that in mind. At the end of the day, like Brittany said, this is a business trip. You are here to learn and invest in yourself. And if you go and get tanked on Saturday night, everything that you learned Saturday can go right out the window. It's scientifically proven. Your brain can't retain it after an activity like that. So just be courteous and be responsible. You're a business owner, right? Imagine walking up into Chick-fil-A and seeing the manager of Chick-fil-A kick back on the counter because he's had a few too many. Like, it's probably going to make you think twice, right? So just know that you want these sideline relationships that you form to be solid. You want them to know that they can trust you if they ever needed somebody to spotlight on a call for them or whatever. You want to be somebody that comes to mind because of the way that you carry yourself. You can carry yourself with dignity and have a fantastic time. Watch how it works. Find people and like, oh, okay, they're having a great time. And this is how they behave. And then do what they're doing.
Yeah. And we're not saying don't have fun, because listen, we're going to have fun.
We're going to have fun.
We're going to have fun.
So much fun. Is it worth it? Can you work it?
Oh. So we probably will partake in an adult beverage and we'll have a great time. But we're also going to be courteous to people around us and carry ourselves well. Okay. And so that's just what we want to ask of all of you too. We are all mature adults. So we're absolutely not going to say, oh, no alcohol allowed, because I mean, we should be able to enjoy ourselves and not have to babysit people. All right. Don't make us be the bad guy who has to say, hey, we're going to have to ask you to leave, because we're not above doing that. We will do that if you are being obscene or like a nuisance, or just, nobody wants to see you sloppy. So just know your boundaries before you even start partaking. Maybe if you need an accountability partner, grab one of those and say, hey, after my second one, I might want a third one. Don't let me get that third one. Okay. So whatever you need to do is, unfortunate we even have to address this, but with a room this size, we just felt like we're going to go ahead and put this out there so that everybody has a good time. Okay. So, Christina one time said something smart. She says a lot of smart things. So it wasn't just one time, but when we were talking about this topic last time, she said, drink like you would drink at a wedding, and not like Bubba's wedding in the backyard, like a nice wedding that you would go to where you pay per head. Okay. So just drink like that. Drink like you can still dance with grandpa if you need to dance with grandpa.
I've been to both kind of weddings. Okay. I've been to Bubba's, and then I've been to ones where you had to pay per head. So they different. You have to act different. But yes, like you have to dance with grandpa. So there you have it. I was going to leave out Bubba's wedding this time because I got more comments at Review Retreat like, where do you come up with this stuff? I'm like, I don't know. I guess I've been to too many Bubba weddings. I do live in Georgia. Okay.
Okay. Act right number 6. And this is the final point. But bottom line, we expect everybody to add value intentionally. Okay. And there's 2 types of people in the world, adders and subtractors. And when people add value on a consistent basis, it's interesting that they do it on purpose. Like, they intentionally look for ways to add value. If you're not looking for ways to add value intentionally, then you likely are by default subtracting. Don't be a subtractor. Okay. Everybody in this room, we have such great community here because everybody has learned how to look for ways to intentionally add value to the people around them. We have absolute zero tolerance for gossip. Gossip is not just subtracting, it's actually dividing. Okay. So don't do it. Just if you feel tempted to say something that is not edifying about another person, if it's not something that you would say to their face and feel good about in building that person up, then you probably just should not say it, guys. Drama kills paychecks, and there would be absolutely no drama if there was absolutely no gossip. We talked about at Ruby Retreat, just communication skills and ways to resolve conflict and stuff like that. That's on my YouTube channel. If you want to watch that training, it's probably very beneficial for everybody to understand these communication skills. But guys, drama always starts with gossip. So before you say anything negative about a person, just check yourself and just fight that temptation. Don't do it. It does not make you look. A lot of times people gossip because they think it makes them look better. And it doesn't. It makes you look worse. It makes people think I can't trust her, because you know what? If somebody is going to say something negative to you about another person, they'll do the same thing about you when you're not around. So it doesn't make people think they can trust you if you're gossiping. So please do not do that. If you have an issue with a person, you can go to the person directly and communicate out of love, like, hey, when you said this, it made me feel like this. And give them the benefit of the doubt. Show grace. We judge other people by their actions, but ourselves by our intentions. We can't see another person's intentions, so don't assume somebody's intentions. Just do the right thing and don't say negative things about other people.
And listen, it always gets back to us.
Mhm.
Always. They'll say, what do you think of so and so told me this about so and so? What do you think about that? And they're coming for wisdom, but what they're really doing is letting us know who we need to go check. And listen, if you say check yourself without saying before you wreck yourself, one more time, Brittany. But for real, it always gets back to us. It is not a good look. And I'm telling you, when that comes back to me immediately, I think this person cannot have a platform to lead my team. They cannot have a platform because I cannot trust them.
Mhm.
So just don't do it.
Yeah.
Again, we won't know your intention either when it gets back to us, but the fact that you would have disclosed something to someone else that now they're having to come get guidance on, do you see how that just festers and grows? And I'm telling you, first of all, our team rarely deals with this, like, because we shut it down immediately. So just know that it's just not something that we see, and it's because our tolerance for it is extremely low. Like, it's not something that we let sit. So just be willing to have to speak to that, because it will get back to us and we will address it. So just don't make us have to do that.
You know, it adds value. Compliments. People love to hear compliments. I think we rarely hear them. And so it feels good to get a genuine compliment. So look for ways to just compliment people. Even if it's just, you have cute shoes, or I love your smile, or whatever. Okay.
Yep.
So look for ways to add value.
I have one more thing to say, and look for ways to prime other people to find the positive. If you're standing in the food truck line and your first instinct is, man, this line is long, look for ways to be like, I am so glad I get to stand here and we have the time to chat in this line. Do you see how the circumstance is the same? The line's long. There's 250 people there. There's a few food trucks. It's probably going to be a line. Deal with it. But find the silver lining and then prime others to also feel that way. Because even something as easy as saying, man, this line is long, you've immediately primed that person nearby to also feel that same way. They
Mhm.
feel, number one, like, okay, well, she's uncomfortable here. She doesn't want to be here. The line is too long. But if you say, oh my gosh, I'm so excited that we get to talk while we're in line, all of a sudden the line could be as long as it could be, because now she feels like, oh my gosh, she values this time with me. Like, let's talk. You immediately go into thinking this is a good thing. So be priming people all weekend long to think to and look for the positive. It's a leadership skill and it's a gift, and you can give that to someone.
Yeah, I love that. That's so good. Such a good point. You know what's even better than being an adder? Being a multiplier. If you are adding value to people and you prime them to also add value to people, then you're multiplying. Okay. So definitely don't be a subtractor, and most definitely don't be a divider. Be an adder, be a multiplier. And guys, get what you came for. We're so excited to see you guys. It's going to be a really, really good weekend, and we cannot wait.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. See you soon.